For some reason, the Prime Minister of Britain, Keir Starmer, is trying to convince the world and the British public that him getting a 10% tariff, as in the same amount of tariff as the island that only has penguins, is him doing masterful diplomacy. And instead, the reality is that Keir Starmer just showed all of his allies, especially the ones in the European Union, that he is willing to cut a side deal, whatever it takes, and that he will even take getting hit like literally an island of penguins as an achievement and success with Washington, D.C. So far, the trade team has been led up by Jonathan Reynolds and Varun Chandra, the so-called quote-unquote business whisperer. But up until literally moments before Donald Trump announced his global tariffs, they were sure that they could get a carve-out that would exempt the UK, and realized crushingly that no, Team Trump was very serious about global tariffs. Varun Chandra, along with Kate Joseph, and New Labour's Michael Elham, are who we have to thank for this state of affairs and leaving the UK completely unprepared for the reality that Donald Trump has been directly telling the world for literally months at this point. This reality that Jonathan Reynolds is now finally discussing retaliatory tariffs against the US, you know, the thing that people around the world, including our closest allies, have been asking desperately for the UK to take part in to stop the tariff war before it began, is now saying that he is looking at retaliatory measures. This again shows the UK deciding to think it can cut a special deal, that there's some fantasy special relationship with Donald Trump that they can bear on. But the reality is like we have all known, Donald Trump will screw anybody who isn't named Donald Trump. And while the European Union is taking a strong stance in response to this, and China, we see once again Keir Starmer offering supplicancy when he needs to be showing strength. Even this past week, he was stating that he would give major US tech companies massive tax breaks after he just cut welfare for poor and disabled people across the UK. This is not the answers that the British people need. This is the answer Donald Trump and his billionaire backers want. And even now, when we see the danger of big tech against democracy, we see Keir Starmer's government, instead of fighting for democracy, lining up to work with the great-grandchild of Oswald Mosley, the leader of the British Union of Fascists, who also happens to be the head of Palantir UK, where Peter Thiel, the man behind JD Vance and the tech dystopia that they want to inflict upon the US, is trying to donate and invest heavily in the UK.